And the challenge is created. Frank the Tank. Frankie. Okay. We play this here. We play this. Good luck, Frank, for England. Bring it home. Okay, we'll play something something cool. Bro, let's stop the music here. We gotta focus. Okay, let's take. What is Frank cooking up for us today? We go bishop g7. I'm playing a very sus opening, so like, you know, the opportunities are here. Okay, so far, we are just playing good. Should I mute the stream? As you wish, my friend, as you wish. As you wish. So, castle's here. Gives me this. Frank's taking his time here. Maybe we could do a rapid after this. Or a time odds, that would be fun. Knight c6. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, rook e1. Good development by Frank so far. I see that. Putting the rook in the center. Really good defending the pawn. Now Frank needs to invest in his queenside development here. We need to see some big moves. Or the big moves here. Nice. Knight d2. Okay, I would have preferred some bishop development first, because now this knight blocks this bishop here. But this is fine so far. Fine so far. Okay, knight f3, really nice, really nice. And now this opens back up the bishop. So far, so good, Frank. You're doing well. Keep going like this. Natural development. Okay, now it's a bit of an aggressive move going on my f7 pawn. Look at this, doubling on my f7 pawn. What should I do? What should I do? Frank, you know what? I have a very nice move that's knight e5. And not only do I have the possibility to defend this pawn, it wasn't really that attacked, but let's just say I'm adding another coat of defense, but I'm also doing this. It's a double functional move. Queen b3 is played, doubling, tripling down on this f7 pawn. Interesting. I'll have a little think here. This is still not threatened, but let's say you take off one of my pieces from f7 and then this becomes a real threat. So I have to be careful. I would go like knight c6 here. So just solidifying my knight into this space. This is still not possible. Let's calculate it together. Okay, well, let's play it together then. So bishop takes, knight takes, knight takes, and then rook takes. And this surplus of material that I've won here is a bishop for a knight, I believe. So this, plus counting the knight that I won earlier, makes it for a lot of 2 pieces up. Okay, now e5. I don't see why I can't just take this. So Frank should have looked at the pieces that was defending the e5 square before playing e5. And now I think this just gives a pawn. Unless he has a master plan of opening this e file, which I don't see why that would be played really. Okay, queen d5. So my first thing that I do when looking at an opponent move that's pretty aggressive like this is looking at the threats. So this is not threatened. This is still a pin. And so I'm seeing no threats. If you're trying to take here, I can take back with the bishop and there's no pin on my queen. So here I'm liking my position. Now I would opt to look for some threats for me. Bishop d7, giving a pawn. Let's do this. I have low time. Low time, so I'm going to be playing very quickly. Frank said I can still win this, I just got to keep hope. I love that. That's what's going to get you far in chess, is hope. So I missed a free piece here, whoops. It's the low time for me. Okay, let's take. Takes. I go like queen d2. And now I have check, and the king has to move, and then I have checkmate. 10 seconds away from beating me at chess. I would take that any day if I was 200 playing a 2200. Right from the beginning, this is good opening standard Italian, very good. I'm playing something dubious because I'm playing an opponent who is very strategic and has a good grasp of the game, so I'm just throwing them off their course with the g6 move. This implies that I'll go fianchetto bishop development in an Italian, which is not normally normal. Then after d4, I just take this pawn, knight takes, and then I play bishop g7. And Frank here should have observed the reason for my move not just being a development move, but also attacking this knight. And the right response here is maybe trading knights or even moving this knight. But after castles, then I win a free piece. And a free piece at chess is worth a lot. And after c3, I go back because my piece was attacked. So always look at your opponent's threat onto you. Just as well on that point, on queen d5, you know, looking at your opponent's threat, threatening f7, I would have had to defend that with queen e7. Rook e1, knight e7, and then knight d2. I really like this knight maneuver here that Frank does. He plays his knight twice to open up his bishop and better develop his knight. If not, the knight goes to a3 and it's kind of on the rim, right? It's not doing anything positive for the white pieces, so Frank centralizes his knight here, which is really nice, and then opens up his bishop here by taking the knight off of d2. The bishop can come to g5 and pin my knight to my queen, which would have been really nice. I would have enjoyed something more like bishop g5 here instead of knight g5. The reason is this is not a good attacking point right here because it's sufficiently defended, and material tells us that a knight and a bishop, two minor pieces, is worth more than a pawn and a rook. So knight e5, I find not only a defense for this, even though it didn't have to be defended, but I also find a counterattack, which is really useful when playing chess, is to not only defend your side, but to counterattack the enemy pieces. This can startle the enemy and make them miss or misjudge a defensive move for actually an attacking move. And so queen b3, I could have even taken this bishop. I go knight c6, and my threat is knight a5 to fork these two pieces and win a full bishop. Still knowing that this f7 square is still very, very well defended. Here after bishop takes, knight takes, black has a surplus of material, and then after e5, I just can take this pawn. So Frank should have calculated this and as well calculated this f7 square, although with very low time, Frank did very well for his experience. I think this is a really good game for experience to get. And after queen d5, you have to look at the threats. I saw no threats, so I did this, even sacrificing a pawn because on queen takes, let's say I had bishop c6, eyeing the g2 pawn and, you know, really getting my pieces in for the attack on this king with a low amount of defenders. Even like queen h4 is looking very spicy right after queen takes b7. So I'd be threatening bishop c6 here, and after bishop here, I missed a free bishop due to low time. And then from there, we traded pieces on e5. This was sufficiently defended, though here I have checkmate. So really, really well played. You did indeed get startled. Cheers. I hope you keep on with your chess journey. Look, from here, it's just experience and numbers. So you gotta put in the work every game and every move. But I see some positive things for you. I see some very positive things for you, and you have full encouragement from the entire chess community. I think the numbers speak for themselves. So you're doing great. But thank you, Frank, for dropping in and delivering this stream. A beautiful game. We appreciate it all. Perhaps sometime we can do a collab, a real collab, which is just you and me. That would be super fun. I would love that.